The classic biceps curl will forever be one of the best ways for you to pack muscle onto your arms. It will also forever be one of the most butchered moves in the gym. Trust me, we have seen it all here at Men's Health, from biceps curls that look like power cleans to curls that look like rows. The truth is that some of these moves actually do have a place in advanced routines. But if you're just starting out, the thing you really want to do is learn the strict biceps curl. A curl that's going to have you moving only at the elbow joint, because that's going to really let you learn how to properly contract your biceps. Long term, that is going to be a key in helping you to grow your arm muscle. So let's break it all down right now. We're going to show you two versions of the so-called strict curl today, but first let's think about what's going into this curl. In both versions of this curl, you're obviously going to challenge the heck out of your biceps and your forearms, and we're also going to hit our brachialis muscle, which lies under the bicep and essentially gives us that deep 3D look that we want for our arms. In addition to that, we're going to work two other muscle groups isometrically, and they're going to play a key role in doing the curl, right? So think about this. You want to make sure that you're isometrically contracting your abs so that we're not arching our back, and we're going to get a little less hip involved. And we're going to isometrically contract our rhomboids as well. Those are the muscles between our shoulder blades. Primarily, we're attacking our arms though, so it's all about our biceps, our forearms, and our brachialis. To understand the strict curl, in addition, we also have to understand the two most common issues that prevent people from properly doing biceps curls. First off, very often when people go too heavy, they're going to start to hinge at their hips and they're going to capture lower body power. We're not here for lower body. We're really here to attack our biceps. The other thing that happens, and it's for a similar reason, because we're lifting too heavy and we can't really focus on our biceps, is we start to shift our elbow backwards behind our torso. And in doing so, we start to incorporate our mid-back muscles to help get the weight up. Both of these ideas are something that we want to take out with the strict curl. So we're going to eliminate all hip movement and we're going to eliminate all chances of moving our elbows behind our torso. That way we can really attack our biceps. So we have Brett here to help us demo our two strict curl variations. And again, with the strict curl, the thing that we're trying to avoid is we want to get our hips out of the motion and we want to place our elbows in a fixed position. That way they're not going to be shifting back and forth and we can't get our back involved in this. One of the best ways to do this, and the easiest way to do this with dumbbells, is going to be, we're going to use a wall. We're going to call this our wall strict curl. What Brett's going to do, he's going to grab his dumbbells. You're going to want to take this lighter too. If you thought you could curl the 50s, it's not going to happen. Even for really strong guys, it's not going to happen. So we're going to go with 20s here. And what Brett's going to do, he's essentially going to lean, and I don't care, you can bend your legs a little bit. You want to have your feet a little bit away from the wall. He's going to maintain 3 points of contact with the wall. So what he's going to do, he's going to press his butt into the wall. He's going to think about driving his shoulders into the wall, and then he's going to squeeze his shoulder blades. That's going to be his starting point. Once we're in this position, we've done a couple of things. His shoulder blades wind up being squeezed, his rhomboids are on, and then he's going to think about flexing his abs, because the only thing I don't want him to do is arch his back and let his rib cage expand. From here, the curl winds up being nice and simple. All Brett's going to do while maintaining those contact points with the wall, he's going to curl up as high as he can. And then we get that really, really good contraction at the top, and we're going to lower with control. Because we have these points of contact with the wall, he's not going to be able to cheat through his hips, so we've eliminated that. He's not going to cheat through his shoulders, we've eliminated that, and we've got the elbows driven directly against the wall. That's a really, really good starting position. He winds up getting a nice tight contraction. On top of that, in part because Brett is also a pretty big guy, he's going to have his elbows shifted ever so slightly backwards, and because of that, because we're maintaining that position, our back muscles can't get involved, but at the same time, he's got ever so slight stretch on the biceps tendon at the shoulder joint. So that is good. It winds up being a nice full range of motion curl. When you get to the top, think about holding for 1 second, getting a really, really good squeeze on your biceps. That way, again, what we're doing, we're trying to drive mind muscle connection with these strict curls, and Brett does a really, really nice job of it when we're on the wall. And if we're in a gym, if we're in a full gym and we can get away from using dumbbells or an easy bar or something like that, we can go to a lying cable curl. And this is another exercise that, again, essentially all we're doing, we're going to translate exactly what we were doing on the wall. We're going to translate that to the ground. So Brett is going to bend his knees ever so slightly. Think about getting yourself in the start of a sit-up position. So I want his feet flat on the floor. And what he's doing, what he's thinking about in this position, he's going to keep his head in contact with the floor. He's going to think about shoulder blades driving into the ground, and shoulders are going to be in contact with the floor, and then his butt is in contact with the floor. So those same contact points that we were dealing with when we were dealing with the ground and curl. The only thing, Brett's legs are long, so he gets a little high in that sit-up position, so he's going to extend those feet out a little bit. That way we can get a pretty good range of motion. And this winds up being our starting position for this curl. Now you'll notice one thing immediately different about this than the wall curl, and that is Brett's elbows are not in contact with the ground. That is fine. It's okay in general to roll a little bit forward with your elbows. Our biceps wind up responsible for two things when we're curling. One is going to be flexing at the elbow. Two is shoulder flexion. That's a little bit of that rise. So we get that with this cable curl. From here, all Brett's gonna do is he's going to curl upwards. Again, when he gets to the top of this curl, he wants to get a really, really good squeeze on his biceps. Think of actively flexing your biceps and trying to explode them out of your skin. Hold for a split second there, and then come back with control on every single rep. This winds up being another really, really great curl variation that you can go to that's going to emphasize you moving with strict form and moving only in elbow flexion with a little bit of shoulder flexion here. It's a really, really great way to get a good squeeze on your biceps. So that is our strict curl. And again, this is a great curl and a curl that everybody, if you want to grow your biceps, you simply have to learn. This is the best beginner curl out there. This is not an exercise that you're meant to do heavy. You want to think about doing 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps and really focus on contracting your biceps, focus on that squeeze and start to learn that squeeze. If you're new to the gym, think of making this your sole biceps exercise. You can do this at the end of a pull workout or a total body day, or you can lead off an arm day with it. If you've been around the gym though, even if you're super strong, don't ditch this move because you're gonna go heavy and at times your form is gonna break down, and you can always use the strict curl to get back to basics and make sure you're really, really attacking your biceps. So this is an indispensable move in anybody's training repertoire.